is CBS News Miami.
We are tracking the tropics. Good afternoon and thank you for joining us. I'm Naja Sherman and welcome to CBS News Miami's 4 p.m. Quickcast. This wave could impact our weekend plans.
Yeah, I think eventually, we could have some peripheral impacts on the western side of it here. So we're going to watch that closely, Naja, for this weekend, particularly heading into a Sunday. Really, the computer models have gone into better agreement. There's really no huge camp on one side or another. I mean, look at this. This is almost a solid line of the models here depicting a movement towards the north. We've been talking about that over the last few days, and it does so further east, right? And so that will result in lesser impacts here. We're still going to have rip currents. That threat's going to be high over the next few days, and we could have some gusty winds, certainly big waves approaching by the time we get into Sunday. But as far as getting into the bands or the wind or the rain associated with, by the way, which is still a tropical wave, eventually a depression, and we're thinking a tropical storm at minimum, that's something that we'll be watching. And in fact, I want to give you another perspective on how that is going to look for us here on Next Weather Radar coming up for the weekend as we check in on the rest of the tropics. Umberto, you can kind of just X that out. That is not going to be an issue for us. That is going to be booking into the other direction towards Bermuda, a big storm for them. But let's focus in on AL 94 here. 94L is the invis, we call it. And there you see just a big disorganized mess. This is not getting its act together. There is not going to be anything rapidly forming here. In fact, a lot of thunderstorm activity. We're still trying to get, a circulation going here. Some westerly winds are beginning to show up on some of the islands, but just in general, this is going to be a process, and I'm not expecting anything for later on today as far as an actual depression or a tropical storm. But we think we'll get there. This has to get away from the islands. That's not a problem for tropical systems right near land like that. There it is getting its act together by tomorrow. So tomorrow we should have a depression, tropical storm. The next name on the list is Imelda. And then here's the closest pass that we're thinking. I'm online with this computer model, this particular run here as it continues headed up to the northeast. You see Florida here safely away. Again, this is going to be pushing waves and going to be increasing our rip current threat, but we're not going to get into those bands as then everything continues to lift to the north. Another perspective, because I think this is going to be the huge problem for the Carolinas on the Helene anniversary, right? Over the next few days, this is going to continue to bring incredible rain here, and we're talking the potential for 6-10 inches of rainfall. They're watching that very closely there as everything pushes to the north. But again, for us, it's going to be one of those situations that I think will fare just fine with this system. Showers and thunderstorms continuing at this hour along our sea breeze that is extending from north to south. A few little pockets here left over, and that's going to continue for the rest of your evening. I don't see anything significant as far as any heavier downpours coming in for the rest of the evening. And then for the next 7 days, still rain chances at 40%. We'll keep that going through Saturday, Sunday, heading into early next week with warm temperatures as well in the 90s.
Ivan, thank you. There are still more than 2 months left in hurricane season, and the Next Weather team is making sure that you are prepared. Just scan the QR code and find all the tools you need to help you get ready. You can also find our 1-hour hurricane special. It has important information for you and your family. Just go to cbsmiami.com. We are following breaking news. It's a big blow for the Florida Panthers and for Panthers fans. Team captain Aleksander Barkov will be out for the entire upcoming season. He suffered a knee injury during practice yesterday. The head coach says the 30-year-old is undergoing knee surgery right now. It's the latest injury for the two-time Stanley Cup champs. The Cats will also start the season on October 7th without Matthew Tkachuk. We have new details now on the 5 students from Pinecrest Glades Academy charter who were rushed to a local hospital. It was after a medical call that they were feeling sick. The school is located at Southwest 8th Street and 152nd Avenue in Southwest Miami-Dade. You saw the story first on CBS News Miami on air and on our stream this morning as it was breaking. Now, according to an email sent to parents from the school, a student brought a food item to campus and shared it with other students. It also said that some students who consumed it began experiencing adverse reactions, and emergency medical teams were immediately called to provide assistance. The email told parents that those students are receiving the necessary medical care. We know that 4 boys and a girl, ages 14 to 16, were treated at HCA Florida Kendall Hospital. They are all going to be okay. The incident is under investigation by law enforcement. And look for more on this story in a live report coming up on CBS News Miami at 5. A former Catholic school principal is accused of fraud and stealing more than $200,000 from the St. Coleman School in Pompano Beach. As CBS News Miami's Morgan Reiner reports, she was an employee with the Archdiocese for nearly 40 years.
St. Thomas celebrated 20 years at this one school before her arrest. And we know this is not the first time someone at this church is accused of stealing hundreds of thousands of dollars. This is Lori St. Thomas's mugshot. The probable cause affidavit says from 2016 to 2025, St. Thomas was paid an additional $238,000, something the father nor the superintendent signed off on.
I think you work hard to send your kids to a private school. I think you want your kids to be in religious education to learn values. And I think stealing is definitely not one of the values that you want modeled to your children in any situation.
Jennifer Thomas's son lives in the neighborhood where St. Coleman's Catholic Church and School is located. She said many of her neighbors who send their kids there will be devastated.
We really need to, now more than ever, be focused on raising youth with values and standards. And it's really sad.
But for this woman who did not want to be identified,
I think they should be in a lot of trouble.
It's even more personal. She used to go to St. Coleman's every Sunday with her husband until
we quit going when we found out the priest was stealing money. He was taking everybody's money.
In 2018, CBS News Miami reported that Father Henrik Pollock was accused of stealing $236,000 from parishioners.
When I tell my husband this, he's going to be really mad. He'll never, ever go to that church ever again. We won't, because we were thinking about going back.
The Archdiocese of Miami sent us a statement saying the Archdiocese of Miami has been made aware of the recent arrest of Lori Ann St. Thomas, a former employee of the Archdiocese of Miami. Miss St. Thomas was employed from August 1986 until October 2024. During her tenure, she held various roles in Catholic schools of the Archdiocese, including serving as principal. Her employment with the Archdiocese of Miami was terminated in October 2024. As this is an active legal matter, we are unable to further comment at this time. We reached out to St. Thomas's attorney as well, who said they have no official comments, but added, and I quote, that they would caution us not to rely on an erroneous probable cause affidavit as other news reports have done. In Pompano Beach, Morgan Reiner, CBS News, Miami.
A Lauderhill man is facing child porn charges. Investigators say they found videos and photos on his computer. Acting on tips from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, investigators searched 20-year-old Courtney Fisher Jr.'s house. They say they found files of children as young as infants being sexually abused. Fisher is now facing 11 charges. Still no sign of a Marion County teen who was last seen after a shooting near Ocala yesterday afternoon. An Amber Alert was issued for 17-year-old Caden Spate. Investigators say he might be with 4 men in a light-colored van. The Marion County Sheriff's Office says a shooting was reported around the same location where the teen was last seen. When deputies got to the scene, they found the teen's vehicle, but he was gone. An independent arbitrator has reportedly ruled the Broward Sheriff's Office had the right to fire a deputy. He's accused of running away from danger. They say it happened during the Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School shooting back in 2018. The Sun reports that BSO determined that Edward Eason wasted precious time as a gunman made his way through the freshman building. The 18-year veteran was formally suspended and later fired. He appealed his firing. The race to become Miami's next mayor is a crowded one with 13 candidates now running. Join Elliot Rodriguez Tuesday night, September 30th at 7 p.m. He's hosting a live 2-hour debate with 6 of those candidates. The debate is presented by the Downtown Neighbors Alliance, and the only place that you can catch it is on the CBS News Miami stream. You can find it on the CBS News app, Pluto TV, and CBSMiami.com. When we come back, they come from near and far. We're taking you inside the show that car enthusiasts are flocking to here in South Florida. That's next. And Dolphins fans, CBS Miami has you covered. You can watch the Dolphins take on the Jets right here Monday night. Pre-game gets underway at 6:30, followed by the game at 7. And welcome back to CBS News Miami's 4 p.m. Quickcast. This is a big weekend for car enthusiasts in South Florida. The 54th annual Miami International Auto Show is now underway. It's at the Miami Beach Convention Center. At this year's show, electric vehicle technology takes center stage. In addition to checking out all the latest cars and trucks, you can navigate the EV test track with an immersive experience. It puts you behind the wheel of cutting-edge brands. The auto show runs through October 5th. Okay, so it is finally Friday. You know it, our favorite day of the week. Here is CBS News Miami's Lisa Petrillo with something to whet your appetite for tonight's Taste of the Town.
Well, guys, I'm just stuck looking at the menus here at Babe's Meat and Counter, and I'm with owner Jason here. Jason, good, we're doing well. And you've been here for how long in this brick and mortar?
About 7.5 years now.
And then before that, you were at Farmers Market.
We were at the Farmers Market for about 5 years before we got in here.
So let's talk about the location. We're here in Palmetto Bay.
The village of Palmetto Bay.
So driving in customers from everywhere, I'm hearing.
Actually, people come from all over. It's amazing.
So what is Babe's Meat and Counter?
We're a little bit of a custom butcher shop that service. We focus primarily in premium meats and all sorts of heritage meats. And then we're also a sandwich shop, so we take a lot of those great products and we make delicious sandwiches.
And it is Hispanic Heritage Month. Your dad was from Cuba.
That's correct. I'm half Cuban, actually.
And so tell me about, I know one of the hottest sellers is the Cuban sandwich.
Cuban sandwich is definitely popular. We were just featured in a national food magazine as one of the top Cuban sandwiches in Miami, so I was very, very, very proud of that.
So growing up, it was a part of your life and eating that kind of food.
Oh, I love that sandwich. I'm from here, from Miami. We always say things like that. So.
All right, and so we're going to try a couple sandwiches. Your wife runs the butcher shop, so it's a mom and pop, the ultimate mom and pop,
correct.
right?
Yeah.
Here in Palmetto Bay, Taste the Town is coming your way on CBS News Miami at 5:30. I'm Lisa Petrillo. We'll see you then.
See you.
Looks delicious. Can't wait. Well, that does it for the CBS News Miami Quickcast. I'm Naja Sherman. Stay tuned for more news right here on CBS News Miami and have a wonderful rest of your day.